Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Gaslighting, deflection, strawman arguments. These seems to be the modus operandi of anyone in the mainstream video game industry that simply don't like the opinion that you have. They're pushing for one agenda or another, and if you disagree with it, if you have a negative opinion to say about what they're pushing or attempting to push down your throat and telling you you have to like it, stop asking questions, then you, sir, are a bigot, a misogynist, a nasty, nasty istophobe, and, well, nothing new coming from a community manager of all places. Aren't they a bit stellar nowadays? Community managers. Supposed to be bringing the community together, but, as we're about to see, that seems to be the exact opposite. Over at That Park Place, John F. Trent, after Alan Wake 2 failed miserably to turn a profit, game's senior community manager. There you go. I think, well, you know what? You make your own opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Calls for bigots to be removed from gaming communities because if you don't like what they're shoveling, you are a bigot. Nico Partners, Director of Research, Danielle Ahmad, initially reacted to the game being shut down. What game? I skipped something. Senior Community Manager for Remedy Entertainment, Vita. That's a word. You can see it. I hope you can, because I'm not even going to try. Called for bigots to be removed from gaming communities in the wake of Firewalk Studios' failed, disastrous launch, only to be shut down in 2 weeks, or less, actually announced less than 2 weeks. Concord being boycotted. Concord didn't get boycotted. People just didn't want to buy it. That's not a boycott. People saw what you were having to offer, Firewalk Studios. They saw what you had to offer. They saw the price tag that was there and said, nah, I'll pass. Okay? That's not a boycott. That's not calling for a boycott. Now, if you go back a year ago, the attempted boycott at Hogwarts Legacy, that was an attempt at a boycott. Telling people, do not buy this because of whatever reason, insert here. That was a boycott. No one was telling anyone not to buy Concord. As a matter of fact, the people who did buy Concord were having a lot of fun. I heard the mechanics were pretty good. The gameplay was interesting. Well, I never played it. I did try, but the look of it, and of course the IP, the genre that the game sits in, not really something I enjoy playing. But some people liked it. Apparently, a whole lot more people were not interested, especially with the price tag. So I wouldn't classify that as a boycott. Shut down due to low sales. There's your answer. That's it, right there. No boycott. It was shut down due to low sales. Abysmal, disastrous, catastrophic. So that's what we're talking about. Nico Partners Director of Research, Danielle Ahmad, she's talking about Concord now, initially reacted to the game being shut down. Quote, the comments around Concord, here we go again, blaming a political ideology for criticism because it can only be right-wing gamers, right? Heaven forbid people with other political ideologies just don't want to play your garbage. You want to sling names. You want to put blanket statements, blanket accusations as a whole to try and justify your point of view. I'm sure that's been done quite a few times in the past, and, well, look at the results. Right-wing gamers shows the power of collective self-deception. Self-deception, what on earth do you mean by that? Self-deception. If you say delusional stuff about DEI enough times and build a conspiracy-focused narrative, they start seeing that false narrative everywhere. I guess we have. Do you know what punctuation is? They start seeing that false narrative everywhere. I guess we have to live with this now. Here's an idea. Now, there's a few games that have come out recently that are coming out that are doing, fantastically well as far as sales and numbers go. One of them goes by Black Myth Wukong, the monkey game. That's selling bangers. I believe Space Marine 2 is quite popular right now as it goes into the early access weekend. And I'm hearing good things about Astrobot. These are games that are strictly there for entertainment purposes. There's no sniff of any ideological change in these games or ideological narrative being pushed in these games, which is what people felt with Concord. But to top it all off, Concord looked like crap with a $40 price tag on it. So I don't know what this conspiracy-focused narrative is you're talking about, or false narrative. The narrative behind Concord was a $40 price tag in a free-to-play market, and the game looked like garbage. So right then and there, essentially when we see trailers for video games or movies or TV shows, or when we see the back of the box, we read the back of the book, we get that first little impression there, and we make decisions on whether or not we want to partake in your entertainment for the price tag. People saw it. People saw the price tag for Concord and said, no, thank you. So I don't know what this false narrative you speak of, unless, of course, you're trying to paint your own false narrative behind what actually happened. $40 price tag and the game looked like crap. Oh, Danielle? Okay, he added in a follow-up, and of course the underlying emotional response is just standard bigotry. Of course it is, because anything I disagree with has to be rooted in bigotry. And nothing new. Except now there are grifters putting on their 4-act stage play about how capital owners have gone woke and therefore no longer care about the profit motive for some reason. If they cared about the profit, they would pay attention to what the target demographic for these video games, they would pay attention to the criticism. They would listen and they would, I don't know, adjust here and there. How about that? And unfortunately, while I do not care to use the term woke, this is definitely one time after another after another. These pieces of entertainment, these pieces of media, video games, movies that are seen as quote-unquote woke are failing over and over and over again. So what does that tell you? Let's keep going. Podcaster Khalif Adams reacted. Oh, he's a gem. Reacted to a mod commentary and wrote, prune all your gardens and push out bad actors. Why are you trying to gatekeep? That's not nice. Prepare your teams for the current conversation zeitgeist. Give your... You don't know what... Oh. We have enters. Okay, so we use paragraph, not paragraphs. We use the enter. We use spacing as punctuation now? Is that where we're at? Forgetting about decent punctuation, ladies and gentlemen? Or is punctuation problematic? Good Lord, I can't believe this. Prepare your teams for the current conversation zeitgeist. Give your community and social teams autonomy and resources to battle against toxicity. Relay how all of this can impact the bottom line early to investors. You are correct there. Relay how all of this will impact all of this nonsense, all of these things that a massive group of gamers, group of potential customers are seeing as ideological checkbox nonsense. Because over and over again, when it is seen as woke, then it's tried out. People are still trying out these games and playing these games to see for themselves, to essentially put their money where their mouth is. Dustborn. I put my money where my mouth is on that game. And it was garbage. And it's happening over and over again, whether it's TV, movie, or video games. When your advertisement for your product is my diversity, my inclusion, my acceptance, and blah, 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 blah. If that's all your advertisement is, and the product comes out and it's written poorly, it's paced poorly, the game mechanics are hot garbage, and filled to the brim with messaging of a sledgehammer to the face, then after a while, and I've said this before and I'll say it again and I will continue to say it, right now gamers have been conditioned to see these red flags over and walk away, shut their wallets down, and don't even give these products the time of day. More and more people are waiting for the trusted reviews, not the nonsense from Rotten Tomatoes or IGN or Metacritic. They're looking for their favorite little YouTube content creators to go out and play the game. Maybe they're waiting for Asmongold, of all people, to go check out and play the game and see what his opinions of it are. That's where we are. Independent individuals out there putting their money, buying the game, setting their own time aside to watch the TV show, the movie, to play the video game in front of the world to see, in front of their audience to see, to show them exactly what they can expect. More and more content creators are doing it, and more people are waiting to see it and then making their decision, regardless of the scores on these aggregate websites. And the more people see it, they'll make the decision of whether or not they think, hey, this is worth my time and money. Or in the case of Concord, I'm shutting my wallet down and walking away. It's happening more often. Pay attention to the market. Starcevic, I'm going to go with Starcevic, who worked on Alan Wake 2, responded to Adam's writing, what Ka said, but also, uplift the good eggs. Oh, the shills. Uplift the shills. That's what it is. Protect and support those who need it. The only need protection? My goodness. It's online. It's just words, ladies and gentlemen. It's differing opinions. But you need protection because words are harmful. That's what Dustborn showed us. Words are powerful. They can be used as weapons against even your friends. Twitter has never been this full of accounts who are peddling hate. No, they're peddling different opinions. Different opinions does not equal hate, no matter how much you want to make it so. But it's still where a lot of the good parts of the games community happen. Yeah, especially away from you. That's where the good parts happen. Prune your gardens and let flowers grow. In a subsequent post, she added, getting bigots out of your communities is a band-aid and not a permanent solution. Modeling desired behaviors? Are you trying? Real? Hold on. Modeling desired behaviors. That sounds like you're trying to cultivate, dare I say, groom people into behaving a certain way, into thinking a certain way. What's wrong with letting people form their own opinions based on what they see? Championing the kind of community members you want to be the majority in your community. So let's go and create our own little echo chamber so that we don't have to listen to dissenting opinions, because dissenting opinions is hateful bigotry. We hear this over and over, ladies and gentlemen, and no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they push, much like the Rewriting Ripley cancellation attempt on a few YouTubers that they just don't agree with, it's going to fail miserably. The more you push this nonsense in your video games, in your communities, from your community managers, people will walk away from these communities. You will be left with this tiny little echo chamber of so-called modern audience gamers who don't support your product. And that's the issue. A vast majority of gamers out there, they just keep quiet. They just play what they like. They don't play what they don't like. And they don't get on social media to run their mouths. They listen to idiots like me, perhaps, like lurking in the comments section. Thank you very much. And they'll look for other opinions. They'll look for other viewpoints. When you sit there and create an echo chamber all by your little selves, then it's destined for failure. Keep your echo chambers. Keep pushing the narrative to try and manipulate the developers into making these particular games for a so-called modern audience that, again, does not exist and does not spend money on your product. Keep doing that, and the saying will come true. You'll go broke. Let's see. Championing the kinds of community members you want to be in the majority of your community takes effort and time. Start early, practice often. Bring them in young, folks. Is that what are you trying to say here? Start early? Start him young. Anyway, moving on. Small steps are steps too. Ironically, Starcevic appeared to be successful at this, given Remedy Entertainment has failed to turn a profit with Alan Wake 2. Interesting, meaning many gamers chose not to purchase the Sweet Baby Stench infected game. Well, a lot of people, from what I heard, I didn't play the first one, didn't play the second one. What I heard is people were expecting to play an Alan Wake game with Alan Wake as the main protagonist, and that's not what they got. A bait and switch is what they got, and it turned a lot of people off. And, well, now that more and more people are holding onto their wallets when it comes to leisure activity, leisure hobbies that don't require, expenditure every month, spend it when you got it. More and more people are looking at the reviewers that they trust to see if they want to even bother purchasing the game. So keep going down that path. Anyway, in the company's half-year financial report covering January to June 2024, Remedy revealed at the time of publishing this report, Alan Wake 2 has recouped most of its development and marketing expense. That means it has still taken a loss. Yep, that is correct. My goodness, we're going to... let's see. February 2024, we're talking about, 1.3 million units. They didn't make you money back. What's this? Oh, Madam Savvy. I wouldn't dream of speaking such words when you make decisions based on shallow requirements. Oh, is this her response? Yes. Because during my on-site, well, I skipped it. A community manager for a game company or any in general should not show preference to one sex or another. Definitely not. A community manager is someone there to bring the community together, not to divide them, separate them, or stick them in their own little boxes and chastise people for having a different opinion. But that's all that's happening now. In all these different communities all over social media, you have someone, they just ask a question and they get kicked out of the forum. They get banned from the community. That's definitely a good way to build your community, isn't it? It can impact your biases when handling customers. Yes, indeed, Madam Savvy, you are awesome. Very much far better with words than I could ever possibly be. But Alan Wake 2 fails to turn a profit. But now, dissenting opinions. We are in another era again, ladies and gentlemen, where if you have the wrong opinion, if you disagree or don't like the piece of media that is coming out, whether TV, video or movies, video game or movies, then you are obviously a right-wing grifter. You are obviously a bigot, because heaven forbid you can't think for yourself if you're a liberal or a left-wing. You have to follow suit. Don't ask questions, just consume product and get excited for next product. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube is begging you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.